I'm a little worried about Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. They released this collaborative album together, which is called I Said I Love You First, and it was marketed in a way that these two people that love each other are coming together to give us some interesting music. And I'm gonna be criticizing it a little bit, even though it is a pretty good album and on Selena's standard, it's great, but on the other hand, when you look at it from the broader perspective, it doesn't deliver what I was expecting, which might be part of the problem, but just hear me out and you can see if you agree with me or not. To get back to the root of the problem, we need to get back to Selena's beginning of her career. She started as a Disney Channel actress, and similar to Miley Cyrus or Demi Lovato, Disney launched her music career along with her acting as well. But Demi and Miley both had a pretty strong voices, they were great singers, and Selena Gomez is not that powerful singer. She can sing great, don't get me wrong, but the voices that Miley and Demi have can allow them a little bit more to do in their music career. If you look into the first Selena albums, it's mostly about her singing songs that were written by other people, and she just probably came to the studio and just sang whatever they wanted her to sing, which is also fine. A lot of people do that, but it didn't have any of her personality. And some of the music that she was singing on those albums kind of feel like scraps from other people. There were all those scraps from Rihanna, some things from Charli XCX and other people as well. And the problem with that is that you can take a song that was written for someone else and make it your own. But since she wasn't a part of the process a lot of the times, and she didn't really, had much to say into it, or she wasn't allowed, it really sounded like a Rihanna song sung by Selena Gomez, or Charli XCX song sang by Selena Gomez. The other problem that I see is that she slowly, got into the process of making her own music, or at least she was part of writing the music, but in the past year she's been really vocal about her not enjoying making music or not enjoying releasing music and being part of the process, and she kept saying also during the past that she's more of an actress. She enjoys acting and she really wants to do acting as well, and we can see that she's done some pretty amazing things, for example with Only Murders in the Building. She's thriving in that environment. The pivotal moment for me of her career is the Revival album, where she joins Julia Michaels and Justin Tranter, Julia Michaels being a major influence in the lyrics, and of course Tranter doing the production. And we can see there a lot of interesting songs with interesting lyricism that very likely Selena was part of the process. She put her experiences there, but there were other people who were taking those experiences and putting them in a great lyrical and production form. But after that, the struggle continues. She still talks about the fact that she's not really into releasing music, into touring, into all of those things, and kind of like leans toward acting again. And for me, even though they claim with Benny Blanco that they really enjoyed making this album, I kind of feel that the struggle continues also on this album, and I'm not sure how true it is that she really enjoyed the process. I watched a lot of the interviews, and there are some red flags that I would like to mention here. The first thing is that while they're doing the interviews, she doesn't seem that she's enjoying them as much as Benny Blanco. Benny's also kind of like talking about the process, how they were making some of the songs, or like how they were making the album, and he was saying things like she would come into the studio or like coming to the part where we were recording the album, she would do her vocals, she would go back to sleep, I would tinker with it, and then I would wake her up, she would come back, record it again. To me it seems a little bit off, and again, like she's not part of the process as much as I would like her to be. He was also saying things like, she would be saying these interesting things or interesting sentences when we were somewhere, and I would just be like typing it on my phone and then creating the music with it, which again seems like, okay, she has some part in it, but it's not coming for her in the musical sense. Like when you are writing a song and you think about, oh, this would be a great song, but it's in your mind and you're starting like to come up with the lyrics, with the music, maybe with a little bit of a production idea. But for example, for Younger and Hotter Than Me, it's a sentence that Selena said, but Benny Blanco took it from some like random place, I don't know, Grammys or something, some talk that they had afterwards, and he turned it into a song. So it's like it's her thought, but the music, she didn't like desire to make music out of it. That's Benny's thing. Then there are some other worrying things, like in terms of their engagement, that I'm not particularly fan of, like the bathtub of queso. That kind of seems like a PR stunt, so they have something to talk about. They are also saying that the album is deeply personal and it has things that she didn't mention before on the albums, but when you listen to it really closely, there's not many topics that she wouldn't cover before or that would be super deeply personal to her as well. Also, there's one more thing that I kind of realized is that Benny Blanco said in some interview way before that one of his dreams is doing an album with someone else and being in charge of the marketing beat, like the rollout, the release. From the interviews, that this project, despite being communicated as like this is coming from a position of love, it seems more like, okay, we did this music because we are living together and it's kind of easy for us to do it, and now I'm fulfilling my dream of doing all of the marketing around it and then planning how to release it and setting all the aesthetics and stuff like that, which to me is a little bit worrying. Like, I'm not saying that it's super bad or that it doesn't work or that it cannot work, but it's just like not what it seems to be, or it doesn't fit with the communication that is coming with the rollout. Now I would like to describe a little bit the issues that I have with the album itself and with the sound and with the track list. The first thing is that there is no coherent sound. The album doesn't have a concept. It is kind of sonically all over the place, and even though there are a lot of songs that lean towards this like breathy Lana Del Rey production, there are also other ones that just like don't fit on the album at all, and I'm not sure what they want to communicate to me as a listener musically. And then we're also running back to the problem I described before, and that is that there are a lot of songs that sound like not Selena Gomez song. You know, like Younger and Harder Than Me was produced by Phineas and it sounds more like a Phineas/Billie Eilish song. Then you have The Bluest Flame, which is a Charli XCX song, but it sounds like a Charli XCX song, and it also has her vocals on the song, so it sounds nothing like Selena Gomez. One of the singles, Call Me When You Break Up with Gracie Abrams, actually sounds a lot more like a Gracie Abrams song than Selena Gomez song. And then you have this second part of the album that really sounds like cosplaying Lana Del Rey without the shtick that Lana is doing, so it doesn't sound like completely new or original or something like that. It is kind of new to Selena, but it doesn't bring anything interesting in the music discourse. And even the great songs that are on the album, for example, Don't Wanna Cry, kind of sound like these like 80s disco coded things that The Weeknd is doing, but he's doing it better. So it's a great song, and a lot of the songs are catchy and interesting, and they have like a little bit of something great in them, but they don't feel original or true to the artist. And that's another point that I would like to comment on, that there's a lot of things that could be great and the album could be exceptional or super great. There's a lot of great ideas, but a lot of the times it feels like they had a great idea, but the idea is not developed enough to be great. So, for example, Call Me When You Break Up is kind of like a ringtone. And I know that you probably heard it from some other people as well, and I don't mean it in a way that it's short only. The song could be short, but on the other hand, it doesn't have a structure or a development when it would have some kind of climax, you know? Like, it's a great song of 2 minutes and, I don't know, 20 seconds or something like that, but it's missing something. So the idea is great. I really enjoy it, like listening to it, but from the more critical standpoint, it feels some ending, you know, it feels some closure, it feels a little bit of part that would make the okay or good song actually great. And there's a lot of these ideas on the album, like Sunset Boulevard is a great song that kind of like leans toward this like radio 80s, 70s aesthetic. Again, it's interesting to listen to. I also get the production of the vocals, even though it's kind of weird, but again, it's missing something. So, and I feel that like a lot of these songs have like a great line, a great part, but then it's not developed fully so it can shine. It gets a little bit boring. And since I talked about the musical coherence of the album, I also feel a little bit weird about the whole way, as I said, like how it was marketed, that it seems like an album coming from a great place of love, but there's not that many topics that actually cover that. There are a lot of songs that comment personal struggles with appearance, with success and stuff like that, but there's also a lot of songs that kind of like dig into Selena's past or Benny Blanco's past, and they are kind of like Justin Bieber coded still. I kind of feel that like sometimes she's singing about the fact that she's kind of been over this and she's kind of like getting back to it a little bit, but it's not very persuasive, you know, like you don't really feel that she's actually over it. And to me, it's really interesting or like really strange to hear an album that is done by like two people that are about to get married, but you really hear a lot of these look backs into the past. And I don't know, it's just, to me, it feels a little bit weird. It's not a bad thing, but I was probably expecting something a little bit more different based on the marketing as well. They are saying, for example, that the album ends on like conclusion, Scared of Losing You, which basically was written in the beginning of the process. They end the album with it, but it's not like a pure love song. Like I understand it, but basically there is no love song on this album, which it is a little bit weird, but it's okay. It's their process, it's fine, but I was expecting that there will be some, you know, closure of the past and of the struggles with the love that they are having, because that's the marketing of the album. But it's kind of not there, even though there are some like nice songs and they are commenting on their relationship. I don't feel that there's a proper love song on the album. So to conclude the whole thing, like, to me, it is an album that is pretty good compared to a lot of the previous Selena albums. It's actually pretty nice. I'm able to listen to like half of the songs and I really enjoy them. Some other parts are a little bit boring. You need to listen to it more and more to kind of see the nuances in it, and then you can appreciate some parts here and there. So it's not a bad album, but it's also not amazing, and a lot of people, I've seen them like praising it as Selena's best work, and for sure this is not Selena's best work. Her best is when she's collaborating with other people like Julia Michaels, who can elevate her ideas and elevate her lyricism and just like make it better. And I don't think that Benny Blanco is making it much better, which is interesting because he's like one of the producers that's behind a lot of big songs, but I don't think that they are kind of like working well together on this album, that they are not bringing the best of each other. It feels more like they kind of describing it. It's coming from a place where they were comfortable making it. So Selena was also comfortable getting back to music, and the album feels really comfortable. Like they didn't go outside of the box. They didn't try many new things in terms of the musical discourse. They just kind of delivered an okay album that is nice. It's okay to listen to. Selena sounds pretty okay on most of the tracks, but it's a little bit above average. To me, it's like 6 out of 10. And even though it is enjoyable, but looking at it from the broader perspective, it doesn't bring anything new. And it also brings up some of the struggles that Selena had with music making in the past. And I don't think this is gonna be a kick for her to make more music again anytime soon. Alright, these are my thoughts. That's it for this video. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. I will be doing more musical content soon. You can also hit the like if you like the video or if you agree with me. And if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. Let me know in the comments. We all have different tastes. I'm looking forward to the discussion because, you know, sometimes reviewing music is a piece of cake and sometimes it is a pickle. See you next time.